Today, we're diving into a paper that explores the effectiveness of advanced machine learning techniques in solving Google's reCAPTCHAv2 system. The authors claim to have achieved a 100% success rate in solving these CAPT-areas, a significant improvement over previous work. What are your thoughts on this claim?
It's certainly a bold claim, and the paper presents a compelling case. The authors leveraged the power of YOLO models, specifically for image segmentation and classification, to tackle the various challenge types presented by reCAPTCH2. Their approach seems to be quite effective, but it's important to consider the limitations and potential implications of such a breakthrough.
Let's delve into the technical details. Can you explain how the authors utilize YOLO models to solve the different CAPTCHA challenge types?
The paper focuses on three main challenge types in reCAPTCHAv2. Type 1 and 3 involve image classification, where the user needs to identify images containing a specific target object. The authors use a fine-tuned YOLO-8 classification model to analyze each image in the grid and determine if it contains the target object. Type 2, on the other hand, is an image segmentation task, where the user needs to select specific segments of an image that contain the target object. Here, the authors employ a pre-trained YOLO-8 segmentation model to identify the relevant segments.
So, the authors essentially train YOLO models to recognize the specific objects and patterns presented in the CAPTCHAs. But how do they ensure that their solution is not flagged as a bot by the reCAPTCH2 system?
That's a crucial aspect of their work. The authors recognize that reCAPTCH2 employs sophisticated bot detection mechanisms. To circumvent these mechanisms, they implement several strategies. First, they use a VPN to dynamically change their IP address for each test run, making it harder for the system to track their activity. Second, they simulate realistic mouse movements using Bezier curves, adding a layer of human-like behavior to their interactions. Finally, they incorporate browser history and cookies from a real user, further mimicking the behavior of a legitimate user.
It seems like the authors have gone to great lengths to make their solution appear as human-like as possible. What are the key findings of their experiments?
The experiments demonstrate the effectiveness of their approach. They find that using a VPN significantly reduces the likelihood of being flagged as a bot, allowing them to solve CAPTCHAs consistently over multiple runs. The inclusion of mouse movements, particularly those based on Bezier curves, further improves their success rate. Interestingly, they also observed that incorporating browser history and cookies from a real user drastically reduces the number of challenges required to solve a CAPTCHA.
So the presence of user-specific data seems to play a significant role in the difficulty of the CAPTCHAs. What does this tell us about the reCAPTCHAv2 system?
It suggests that reCAPTCHAv2 relies heavily on user data, such as browsing history and cookies, to assess the likelihood of a user being human. This reliance on user data could potentially make the system vulnerable to attacks that manipulate or spoof this data.
That's a concerning finding. What are the implications of this research for the future of CAPTCHAs?
This research highlights the ongoing arms race between CAPTCHA developers and those seeking to circumvent them. As AI models become more sophisticated, traditional CAPTCHAs may become increasingly ineffective. The authors argue that future research should focus on developing more robust CAPTCHA systems that can adapt to the evolving capabilities of AI.
Do you think the authors' findings suggest that CAPTCHAs are becoming obsolete?
It's too early to say that CAPTCHAs are obsolete. They still play a vital role in protecting websites from automated attacks. However, this research underscores the need for continuous innovation in CAPTCHA designed to stay ahead of the curve. New approaches, such as those based on abstract reasoning or more complex visual challenges, may be necessary to effectively distinguish between humans and bots.
The authors also compare the performance of their bot with that of a human solver. What are the results of this comparison?
The comparison reveals that the bot, on average, requires slightly fewer challenges to solve the CAPTCHAs than the human solver. However, the difference is not statistically significant, suggesting that the bot's performance is comparable to that of a human. This finding further challenges the notion that image-based CAPTCHAs are a reliable way to distinguish between humans and bots.
So the bot is essentially as good as a human at solving these CAPTCHAs. What does this tell us about the future of bot detection?
It suggests that bot detection systems need to become more sophisticated and adaptive. Traditional methods, such as those based on simple image recognition or mouse movement analysis, may no longer be sufficient. New approaches that leverage more complex behavioral analysis, such as those that analyze user interactions with the website or the patterns of their browsing history, may be necessary to effectively identify and block bots.
The authors also mentioned that their solution achieves a 100% success rate in solving the CAPTCHAs, while previous work only achieved a 68-71% success rate. What accounts for this significant improvement?
The authors attribute this improvement to several factors. First, they use a more advanced YOLO model, specifically YOLO-8, which has been shown to be more accurate and efficient than previous versions. Second, they fine-tune their model on a larger and more diverse dataset of CAPTCHA images. Finally, they implement more sophisticated strategies for evading bot detection, such as using a VPN and simulating realistic mouse movements.
So the authors have essentially combined the latest advancements in machine learning with clever techniques for mimicking human behavior to achieve a breakthrough in CAPTCHA solving. What are the potential implications of this research for online security?
This research highlights the need for a proactive approach to online security. As AI models continue to advance, we need to develop more robust security measures that can adapt to these advancements. This includes exploring new CAPTCHA designs, developing more sophisticated bot detection systems, and potentially even considering alternative methods of human verification.
The authors conclude by emphasizing the importance of continuous innovation in CAPTCHA technology. Do you agree with this assessment?
Absolutely. The field of online security is constantly evolving, and we need to stay ahead of the curve. This research serves as a reminder that we cannot rely on outdated security measures. We need to invest in research and development to ensure that our online environments remain secure in the face of ever-evolving threats.
Thank you for this insightful discussion on the technical aspects of this paper. It's clear that the field of CAPTCHA technology is in a state of flux, and we need to be prepared for the challenges that lie ahead.